Hi everybody, welcome to Hannah's Happy Space. My name is Hannah and you join me here at home surrounded by crafty goodness. It is finally 2022, although finally probably isn't the best way of describing it because we are pretty much at the end of January already and I'm finally getting in front of the camera. I thought I'd start off the new year in a slightly different setting. I think it's okay. Obviously we're still in the same place, just you can see a little bit more of my stash and a few of my makes. Yes, let me say, for those who don't know, I am Hannah, like I said. I live in Oakhampton, which is a smallish, biggish town in Devon on the edge of Dartmoor in England. I live at home with my sister, Cara, and her son, Sebastian, Sebi, who is 8. If you have watched the podcast before, you will have seen them before. If you watch Vlogmas, you'll also have seen a little bit more of them. If you're new to the channel, you'll probably hear me talk about them quite a lot. Big part of my life here. So, like I said, Vlogmas. Thank you so much to those of you who joined me and watched along. You may have noticed that Vlogmas was cut short. I did put a little story over on Instagram. Obviously not everyone follows over on Instagram. So for those of you who don't know, Vlogmas finished for us on about the 23rd, 24th-ish of December because I caught COVID. Then Cara caught COVID, Dominic had COVID, that's my brother, and finally Sebi got COVID. So yes, Christmas was a little bit different for us this year. Unfortunately, we didn't get to go down and see Mum and our other brothers or any other family or friends. Luckily, there was 4 of us here though. We, spent some time together over Christmas. And it was very strange, to be honest, that 3 of us had caught the virus and all 3 of us had completely different symptoms. Dominic had 1 day of very high temperature, then you wouldn't have known he was ill. I had 1 or 2 days of a really achy body, horrible cough, and then Cara unfortunately caught it worse, lost her sense of smell and taste. Sebi was unfortunately bound to get it, being surrounded by us lot. He was absolutely fine. He had a little bit of a temperature every now and then, again a bit of a streaming cold, but he'd already had a bit of a cold anyway. We are all absolutely fine now, all fully clear, have been for some time. Yes, so that is the reason we had to cut Vlogmas short. Sebi was very disappointed that we can continue doing that, but he says thank you very much to all of those who watched Vlogmas, who left us comments, who's very excited by everything. So yes, we were poorly Christmas Day, but we did have a nice Christmas. Finally, we, lots of lovely gifts. We did a lot of FaceTime with our family, watching them open their gifts. We eventually got around to having a Christmas dinner. Also, our brother Finley, who did appear on Vlogmas, he came home from university for Christmas. His birthday is Christmas Eve. He was very disappointed that we didn't all get together for his birthday. He is a board game fanatic. He had several board games for birthdays and Christmas, and he would have loved for us all to have played. Luckily, we did. Once we were well again, he was able to come up. We were able to go down to his house, and before he went back to university, we got to play lots of very interesting new board games. So we did all have a lovely Christmas eventually. We don't do a lot for New Year anyways, but we got through the new year, and Sebi got back to school, we got back to work, Cara had a birthday. We've been getting back to normal, as it were, normal as it can be. So I think that's all the sort of life updates, if you like. So I think there's anything else there to share with you. Like I said, I'm back to work. I am lucky enough to work in my local yarn shop, the Woolly Beader in Oakhampton. So I've been only do 1 day a week in there at the moment. So trying to get back into that after being poorly, but that's normal progress has resumed. Finally, like I say, I got to sit down in front of the camera and have a quick catch up with you all. And I'm going to try, I know I probably shouldn't set these goals at the beginning of the year, but I am going to try and be a little bit more regular in my podcasting. Fingers crossed is all I can say. You know how life can sometimes get in the way, but I do plan to do some more videoing. So, right, we're a little way in and I've been waffling on. So let's show some of the crafting I've been up to. Have to be honest, haven't got a huge amount. I've got one or two finished things, a couple of things I'm working on. Wasn't able to craft whilst I was at the poorliest part, but you know, got back into it. I am trying this year to work through a bit more of my stash. I am not going to say that that means I won't be buying any yarn because I already have bought yarn, but I am trying to get through some of my stash here. Also, it's not here with me at the moment. You know, my hand-dyed yarns, some of them have been sat in storage, possibly even years. So even if they just get turned into socks, which I never used to like to do, or don't use the nice hand-dyed socks, hand-dyed yarn for socks because no one will see it. But if it's been sat in a bag for 6, 8, 10 months, no one's seeing it anyway. So that is the plan. I am also planning this year to keep a track of my crafting with a sort of craft journal, which I'm going to record everything in, she says, having not done it yet. I have put one of my finished objects in there, which actually I keep looking that way because the journal's on the table over there. If I get a moment, I'll pick it up and I'll show you when we get to the finished item that I have made. Okay, I think that's it for the waffle. Let's get on with the craft. So I'm going to start with my finished objects. If you see me looking down, I've got my notes on a little table in front of me. So that's just what I'm looking at. I'm going to have a little quick drink. It's an absolutely miserable day here in Oakhampton. It's grey outside, it's drizzly, but obviously we've had the heating on inside and it's got a little bit warm now. But I can't complain. I can't complain actually because I am nicely warm at home, cosy. Cara has gone out this morning. Sebastian said he has her football match today, so they're driving to Dawlish. They left very early this morning. Yeah, like I said, they've driven this about 45 minutes to Dawlish and they're going to play football, and Cara's going to have to stand in possibly the rain, but it'd be rather chilly and watch play football, so I can't complain. Okay. Let's get on with this. Finished objects. Socks. I have got 3 pairs of socks to show you. They are all what we call vanilla socks, basic socks. I generally use the Winwick Mums basic 4-ply sock pattern for my socks. They're all in hand-dyed yarns that actually are yarns I've dyed myself, and I thought just show off the yarn in a plain sock. And sock knitting is very portable, so I've got one on the go in a little bag, usually just a bag that stays in my handbag, so I can knit the socks when I go to knit club at the cafe. I can knit socks when I'm at work. I can knit whilst we're in the car waiting to pick Sebi up from school, things like that. So we have got 3 pairs of socks finished. So I will show you the first one. I've only got one of them because I have been wearing this pair of socks. So I've just grabbed one. So they might look a little bit baggy, but that's because I've been wearing them. Okay, so this is my first sock. And this, like I say, is all yarn that I've dyed myself. I'll show you a little bit closer up to the camera. So the cuff is a purpley colour, and the toe when I get to there. These are yarns that I had left over from doing my Stephen West Slip Stravaganza. So they are 75% merino, 25% nylon. So that is the purpley colour, and the toe is this sort of neon yellow, which might show up better on this side. There's some little green and orange speckles in amongst, and those are colours that I've used in the main yarn. Now, before Christmas, I was dyeing some yarn for a friend, and I'd had to split up some big skeins, and I had, it was something like 70 grams left from a 100 gram skein. So I thought, well, I'll just put that into soak whilst I'm doing the other dyes, and I will use up what's left over. So the pink was some that I had left over. And then I just used the dry powders to do the speckles, and I'm really pleased actually with how this has come out. Like a micro stripe works really. I'm not sure, obviously you'd get this effect on a larger garment, but for socks I think it works really well. So I think I am planning on doing some more yarn dyeing this year. In fact, I'm dyeing some yarn today for a project, but this is something that I think I might try and recreate in some different colours. So that is the first one. I will quickly show you the yarn. So okay, so we've got the main colour is the bright pink, then we've got purples, blues and yellows that I used, and purples, blues and yellows that I used for the speckles. And I've actually pinched this out of a bag of a project of something I'm going to show you that I'm also working on. I'm using up leftovers and scraps and things for another project. So that has a planned use on the way. That's my first pair of socks. Where have I put the other pairs? Here they are. So again, we're using yarns that I've dyed myself, apart from a contrast colour that I've used on this pair. So go. This is pair number 2. These haven't been worn yet, so they're a little bit neater looking. Again, Winwick Mum's basic sort of pattern. I do a 2x2 rib. So these are top down. I knit my socks on mini circulars. And round and round, straight leg, heel flap and gusset, and I think this is called a wedge toe, so it comes up this sort of shape. So this yarn again wasn't a full skein. It was some that I had whilst I was dyeing yarn for someone else. Let me see if I've got a little bit left. Here we go. And actually this was leftover dye as well from the projects I was doing. So this is like a light sort of a duck eggy blue, would you say, maybe, and a minty green. And then I've just used dry powder to create the speckles. So it's got sort of reds, pinks and purpley speckles over the top. That's that one. And I used contrast for the toe. This is a Malabrigo sock yarn. I can't remember what it's called. I will have a look because it'll be in my notes somewhere, because I've used this yarn in another sock that I did in a previous podcast. So show you one more time. If you look, I don't know if it'll show up on the camera, or just about, there is sort of a little bit of striping going on, but a lot more subtle. So that's that pair. Then we have some movement upstairs. Dominic's upstairs. Sorry if you can hear him moving around. The next pair is, I did put this yarn on my Instagram, and I did again some yarn dyeing. So I have got a whole other hank of this if anybody is interested. These are my Wintery shower socks. Again, coming up with this really nice striping, sort of micro striping. And this one is, so the white in there is just the natural yarn. Then we've got different shades of blue and greys, and then some sort of speckled parts in amongst that as well. So I'll show you the yarn, bit that I've got left over. Whoops, stuck to a stitch marker. So this is the yarn I've got left over. I haven't actually weighed this. It's more, less than half of 100 grams is left over because I have size 8 feet and I like quite a long-ish sock. So maybe 40 grams, something like that left over. So definitely usable in another project. So that is what I've got left over with that one. Okay, so lots of socks. Like I say, really great travel projects. Always have one in my bag for when it is needed. Okay, so I've only got one other woolly craft to show you. I have made a crochet jumper. I was going to wear it, but like I say, it's a little bit warm. What I will try and do is pop it on in a bit and take a photo so you can see what it looks like on. This is, like I say, a crochet jumper called the Ziggy Jumper, and it's by Trudy Stephens. Now, it is a cropped jumper. It's inside out, 2 seconds, because I have worn this as well. Yeah, slightly cropped jumper, long sleeves. There we go. So this is crocheted in double knit, any double knit you like. I have chosen Stylecraft Special DK, all from Stash. I'll show you as well as I can, because it's obviously quite a large garment. I'll show you the colours that I've got. It is called the Ziggy Jumper. So it is in this, let me see if I can show you on a solid colours, probably better. It is, if you're crochet, you'll recognise it's a V-stitch, which makes these zigzags there. Oh, that's better. Obviously, I won't tell you too much because it's paid for pattern. So I'm really going to struggle to show you this. So long sleeves, sort of these balloon sleeves, and a striped body. This, obviously, I'm quite a large person, so it's fairly large size. Took less than 500 grams of yarn. Some of the balls I had weren't whole balls, and I've got some left over from the full balls that I had. So like I say, I'll pop a picture in, but I'll just go through the colours with you. So this dark purple is Emperor. This mottled mild purple is Viola. Lighter purple is Violet. This pinky colour is Clematis. The pink mild is Peony. And the darker pink is Fuchsia Purple. I'll just show you, that's the same colour here. Obviously I didn't have enough to do a full stripe on the arm. But yeah, super cosy. And actually, I am a quick crocheter, but it did only take me 3 evenings, I think, to make it, because it was a really well-written pattern, and, you know, a nice quick project, actually. So that is the Ziggy Jumper by Trudy Stephens. So that is that one. And then, like I said, I've only got one other thing to... Dominic just popped in there. He said he'll go away so I can finish up. Yes, one other finished object to show you. It is not woolly in the slightest. Must be a week. What are we today? Saturday the 29th. Yeah, so a week ago on Saturday, me and Cara went to an art workshop in Hatherley, which is a village outside of Oakhampton, about 10 minutes away. A painting art workshop run by Luna Faye, very talented local artist. I will put her details in the box down below. And I'm just checking. Right, so the work that we were using as an inspiration was by an artist called Julie Ryder. Sorry for the waffling. Like I say, all the details will be in the box. So artist called Julie Ryder, who some of you, when I show you the picture, might actually recognise as quite distinctive. Lots of dotting work, so you know, quite a simple-ish project to do, but really great fun. The workshop was £30 and everything was included, all the materials, absolutely everything. And we were there for, we went over actually, we were probably there for just over 3 hours. Something, yeah, no, about 3 hours, because it should have been 2 and we went over. So let me show you. This, I'll show you mine first. So like I said, everything was included. So you had these 20 centimetre square canvas boards, and then the picture that we were using as inspiration was, I think it's called Moon Meadows or Moonlight Meadow. So we were taught all the techniques. This is all painted in acrylics. You can't see obviously under the moon. We started with the colour that we'd chosen for the backgrounds, and they were what shows how to blend out and create those different colours. And then obviously the moon is painted on top. And then you create this meadow effect. So the green underneath, you used a natural sponge to create the different textures underneath. Then we used palette knives to make the grasses. Then the flowers were painted using cotton buds, ends of paintbrushes, fingertips. Also she had there some Posca paint pens, so where you can see like these outlines, they've been painted on with the Posca paint pens. Lots of different size dots. So that was what I came away with. Like I say, really enjoyable workshop, and I think quite a nice piece to come out of it. This is going to go hopefully on our wall in the lounge somewhere. Our plan this year is to get our lounge sorted out. We're having new sofas and we're getting new pictures and all sorts. We've had several trips to IKEA, which has been quite fun. So yeah, that is my one. I am going to show you Cara's. She's not here. She won't be happy that I've shown you because typical Cara, she was very much, oh, mine's not good enough, I don't know what to do, but she's come out with a really lovely picture. So hers is a different colour. She went for purples. The actual picture we were copying had sort of pinks and purple skies. The pink isn't showing up quite as true to life there. And then she went for different colours, but slightly darker colours for her flowers. So I think she did a very good job as well. So that is that one. Okay, so those are my finished objects. Whips. I'm looking around because I've put it down somewhere. What I am looking for, here it is. This, because I finished my socks, this has become my travel project. It's a small project. And let me find it out. This is called the Simple Yet Effective Cowl from Tin Can Knits, and it is a double knit pattern, but I am using 2 balls of 4-ply yarn held double. These are actually the same colour, she says, looking at them, and one's slightly different. This one's more purpley and this one's got more greens in. I don't know what this yarn is called, who it's from. I've had it for ages. It was, if I remember rightly, a crochet shawl that I unravelled because I didn't like it, and so I'm using it for this now. So held double. This is a free pattern on Ravelry. I am knitting these on 5mm 40 centimetre circular Knit Pro Symphonies. The pattern does actually calls for 4mm, yeah, 4mm needles. I didn't have any available at the time, so I went with this because I've done other projects holding yarn double and got quite a nice fabric. Doing them on a 5 and, you know, knits up even quicker. It's not the easiest thing to show when they're on circulars, but so I'm getting all this different colour marling from the 2 yarns. And it's really simple pattern. You've got these rows of pearl, yeah, and then bigger sections of knit. And because it's on circulars, you're just going round and round and round and round, which is what I'm going to do until either it's to a length that I want, or I've run out of yarn. Sorry, something's just popped up on my screen and I can't see what's going on. Yeah, so that is a nice, easy, don't have to think about knitting project that I can take to knit club and things like that and still join in with the chit chat and not worry about making mistakes. So that is my nice easy one that I'm doing at the moment. Slightly less easy pattern that I won't be taking out with me, although it is getting easier with where I'm at, is in my flamingo bag that I made myself. This is the Night Groove jumper or sweater from Isabell Kraemer. Now, I need to be careful getting out because I don't have any point protectors, and several times I put this jumper down, picked it up, and there's loads of stitches that have come off. Doesn't help that it's attached to a great big cone. Okay, so this is a cone of King Cowl Merino 4-ply. Now, decided to have a go knitting with cones because a lot of you who have already watched will know I'm good friends with Ruth from Ruth Loves to Knit, and she says knitting from cones is great. I'm not blaming her on this cone. Hasn't been very successful. I haven't used a huge amount of it and I've already had 3 joins. And obviously the benefit of knitting from cone is that you don't have any joins or ends to sew in. Never mind. Okay. Oh, see, lost some stitches. 2 seconds. Get some point protectors, Hannah. You work in a wool shop, you could get some. So here we go. This is a colourwork jumper knitted in the round. I had some yarn for Christmas from Cara called Frida. The colourway was called Frida. It was 5-10 gram skeins of 4-ply from a dyer called Fearless Yarns. So there are similar yarns but very slightly different. Looking back, I probably shouldn't have done a colourwork jumper with a multicoloured yarn, but I liked the idea of it. I think it does look, I'll show you. I'll put a picture of what it should look like in as well. So it's obviously, again, on circulars, makes it difficult to show you, but I'll try and show you the colourwork. There we go. Yeah, so like I say, it's using that hand-dyed yarn with the commercial yarn. I've done all the colour work. I'm now onto the body of the jumper. I have just got to the point where some short row shaping comes into the pattern, which isn't difficult, but I've been distracted by other things and that's why it's not been done. So I'm going to make an effort to try and get a bit more done on this, because once I'm past the short row shaping, I'm just going to be on the body going round and round and round. So that's not a problem. It's not evening knitting though, because the yarn is so dark. And if I'm honest, a little bit splitty. So I need a little bit of not huge concentration, but light. So hopefully next time I show you this, you never know, it could be finished. Unlikely. But it might have a body. And sorry I can't show you properly because I don't want to, I'm holding tightly onto the needles because I don't want to lose any stitches. But like I say, I'll pop a photo in what it should look like. So that's that one. Pop that back in there. Okay. Oh, one more whip to show you. Like I said, I'm not working on a huge amount of things at the moment. That will probably change. So next is the Sun and Soul wrap from Tiff Neilan, introduced to me by Ruth again. I did the Artist Garden blanket shawl before. You'll have, if you've watched the podcast before, you'll have seen this one. I think actually it might even be in the podcast before this. This is an absolutely brilliant project for using up scraps and leftovers. I chose to go in a rainbow fade. And this has quickly become probably my favourite shawl. It's so warm. And I wear it lots, wear it all the time. So I am doing another pattern from Tiff Neilan called Sun and Soul Wrap, sorry. Okay, and this one, like the other, is 2 4-plies held double. Sorry, my yarn's wrapped around my stitch marker. Very unorganised. Oh my goodness, talk amongst yourselves. There, right. Okay. This one in the pattern actually calls for 2 skeins of your main colour and then you introduce 3 different contrast colours. I haven't done that. I have chosen a fade using up scraps. I'm going from green to yellow to orange to pink, and I'm up to orange. So again, this is a big shawl, so I'm just going to be able to show you in little sections. So green through to yellows, through to oranges, and I'm just starting to introduce some different colours. It's going to be going pink soon. Again, this is a paid for pattern, so I can't tell you too much about it, but you have sections of garter and slip stitch, and then you've got your shaping, decrease shaping at the middle, increasing on the sides, again on circulars, so I can't spread it right out, but I haven't got a huge amount left to do on this, so this should be finished soon. And it knits up really quickly because you're holding those 2 yarns doubled, and you get this lovely squishy blanket, shawl, sorry. I have got another 2 actually patterns that I definitely want to do. I spoke about one that I was planning on doing last time as well, but I am going to be dyeing some yarn for a project today, which is also a Tiff Neilan project. So that is, again, I'll pop a picture in of what it's going to become. And I think that is it for whips. I am working on, or literally just started, a cross stitch project, a DMC kit by the designer Emily Peacock, which is all different cactus. But I've only done, you know, a little square of stitches like that, so you don't need to see that just yet. Once I've done a little bit more, I will let you know. I will get back onto Instagram as well. I haven't put anything on there for the new year. Now I have been back on the podcast, I will get back to posting it on Instagram. If you want to follow me over there, I am Hannah's Happy Space, Hannah's _happy_space. The information will be in the box down below. Before I go, I just wanted to show you quickly a couple of new items that I have had. They are all Christmas presents. There's only 3. I'll just show you them very quickly. I don't have any plans for them just yet, but they are really beautiful yarns, so I thought I would share them with you. If you have watched the podcast before, you will know that I am a lover of very bright colours, especially a neon. So be prepared. These are 3 very bright colours, very bright skeins of yarn. Let me just move some bags so I can get to them. So first of all is a gift that Cara gave me. Now it's going to be tricky to show you because I've never received a skein of yarn in this way. It's it came like this. So there's the ball band. Let me show you that first. This is from Floof Fibre, and it is a 4-ply sock yarn, merino nylon 80-20, and it's a high twist superwash 100 grams. And I'm gonna have to do it this way to show you the colours, I think. So we've got purples, pinks, greens, oranges and blacks. So that is my first one to show. So that's that one. Then I've got 2 presents from Mum. You'll have heard me talk about this yarn dyer lots if you've watched before. This is James Makes Yarn. This is a 75% superwash merino, 95% nylon, 100 grams 4-ply, and the colourway is the Nutcracker. There's James' ball band and lots and lots of beautiful bright colours. So that's number 2. And finally, a sock set from Rainbow Fusions. This is called Firework Set, 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon, and it's a 50 gram and a 20 gram. So we've got the main skein is this black with pops of orange and green and pink and yellow and blues, neons, with a 20 gram contrasting pink. So this will become socks. So that is that one. Okay, right, I think that is everything. Looking around like always to make sure I haven't forgotten anything. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you if you are a returning viewer, returning subscriber. Thank you as always. Really appreciate your support over here on the channel. If you are new to the channel, hopefully you've enjoyed what you have seen today. If you've really enjoyed it, you can always subscribe and see what I am getting up to next. Like I say, I'm hoping to be a little bit more regular in my podcasting this year. And I think that is everything. I hope you're all having a wonderful weekend, if you're watching it when it's been released. Otherwise, I hope we're just having a wonderful time in general, getting into the new year with lots of happiness and positivity, looking forward to what the future brings. So thank you all again, and I will see you all again hopefully next time. Bye.